Hello there, welcome back to my channel. We're on episode 33, and today I'll tell you some more about creative pursuits that brought joy into my growing years. In the previous episode, I told you about the dancing, skits, speeches, poems, flute playing, and creative writing. I also enjoyed painting and brought my unique perspective into that too. For instance, when we were asked to paint a vase or a vase, however you choose to pronounce it, I painted a vase in the shape of a fish, wherein the open mouth of the fish formed the mouth of the vase and the tail of the fish formed the bottom of the vase. When we were asked to paint a school picnic, I made it a perspective image, wherein the focus was on the legs of a few students walking through the bulrushes and reeds. So the focus was on all these beautiful plants and the little path. So the painting included tall grass, and amidst that, a little path where you could see the shoes and calves of some of the kids walking along. Now, I wasn't necessarily a neat or very accomplished painter, but I did bring a unique take to the topics we were given. When we had a new art teacher in 7th standard, Pethe teacher, the first assignment she gave us was to paint a rainy day. The new school term usually started in June, which was the rainy season. So the teacher had said she would display the best 10 paintings for the next class. I painted a sudden rain and was confident that mine would be among the displayed paintings. So in the sudden rain, I painted unprepared people running helter-skelter during a sudden rain. It was a painting full of action, with people mid-run, one person tumbling, another whose umbrella had turned upside down. Overall, I thought I did a pretty good job of displaying the chaos. The next art class, we walked into the art room, and I was glad to see my painting on display among the top 10. I was expecting it. The teacher started talking to us about the paintings and why she had chosen those. And lastly, she pointed to mine and said, "You might be surprised to see this one here." Wait, what? My heart skipped a beat. She went on to explain that the painting was untidy, but she chose it because of the unique theme of a sudden rain and how it was presented. Till then, I had not doubted my abilities as an artist. I used to spend hours during summer vacation and otherwise doodling and sketching, keenly observing sketches and trying to learn the styles of the artists. I kept drawing the same thing until I could master the way I had seen it in the original sketch. So the sketching bit was not a problem. The painting was a problem, especially since we were using watercolors in school, and I found it a bit difficult to handle them. I mean, sure, in primary school, Singh sir had told me that the soap bar I had made for clay class was a waste of clay, but I had been very good at origami, the paper folding projects. Afterwards that year, we participated in the Camlin color contest. Every year, Camlin conducted a painting contest as a product promotion, I guess. That year, I won the first prize. I was so excited to win, but Pethe teacher looked very confused and asked which painting I had submitted. I described it to her excitedly, but she looked lost. I soon felt very deflated. My art teacher had no faith in me and could not believe that I had won the first prize. This was the beginning of me seriously doubting my artistic abilities. Typically, most students who considered themselves above average also appeared for the elementary and intermediate art exams. I was not sure why I should appear for those exams, but at that time we were under the impression that every certificate mattered. Participating for those exams meant staying back after school and sitting in the art room for at least half an hour to an hour of practice. The exam had 6 parts: the memory, drawing, the still life, and a few such others. So we would practice accordingly. The senior art teacher, Kasli Sir, would supervise these practice sessions and teach us for these exams. I found Kasli Sir very intimidating and unapproachable. Also, I was in great awe of his painting prowess. I tended to be very timid around such authority figures. After enrolling for the art exam, I felt like skipping a few practice sessions and going straight home. Then the catch-22 effect started. I feared going in after missing a few classes, so I missed more. The more classes I missed, the more nervous I got about finally going to attend the prep classes. A boy from the Marathi medium called Milind, who was a teacher's son, and I had missed about the same number of classes. With encouragement from my sister Ruby, one day I finally steeled myself and entered the class. Seeing me, Kasli Sir got angry about how much I had missed. He scolded me for what felt like 15 minutes, and I stood there quivering and ashamed. Finally, his scolding done, I entered and joined the practice sessions. The next day, Milind walked into the class. Kasli Sir did not bother with him at all. Not a word. I felt a lot of feelings about this, and my mind was in turmoil. Had I been singled out for the scolding? If both Milind and I had missed the same number of practice sessions, how did he get away scot-free? There may have been many possible explanations, but I started losing my enthusiasm for painting. Around this time, I had decided to try my hand at painting on fabric. I had a white skirt. I started painting flowers on it. A wild splash of colorful flowers all over the skirt. A very alive, vibrant look. Now, Mom's choice of painting was more the traditional Mughal style, the kind that you would see on the Taj. Detail-oriented paintings. That was more like how Ruby painted. So Mom saw the skirt and said, "What is this? What have you painted? This is not good." Then, on the corner of the skirt, I painted the kind of flower that she liked, a very detailed, delicate flower with a plant. Then I showed it to her. This one she approved of. I had actually believed that my painting on the skirt was not good. But when I stepped out wearing that skirt later on, it was appreciated by others. An older girl whom I found intimidating, the boss's daughter, Tanaz, came up to me specifically to tell me that the skirt was painted very beautifully and that it looked very nice. This is how I realized that I had actually done a good job. However, when I would look at some of the best artists in school, the students who had great mastery and natural talent, I did feel that I did not have it in me to be good enough to ever apply to prestigious institutes such as JJ School of Art. And so, I just stopped thinking of art as an option for a career. Something similar happened with music. My friend and neighbor, Netra, was learning Carnatic music ever since she was very little. Personally, I felt I could sing as well as her. But since she was taking private vocal lessons from a teacher at school, she was preferred whenever someone was required to sing at school. The new music sir, Dafla Purkar, was conducting selections for the core singers from our class. He asked each of us to sing Sa Re Ga Ma. To impress him, I sang each note slow and long. He rejected me. So many students were interested in music for the extracurricular class that poor Dafla sir was overwhelmed on the first day of class. He had to find a way to select and weed out. So he played a simple tune on his harmonium and asked each of us to play it for selections. Anxiously, I watched each student play it, desperately trying to by heart the notes that had to be played. But when it was my turn, I was rejected. Something similar happened with dance too. It was very easy for me to get selected for the annual day dance because I do have a natural grace in dancing. But when they added some Western dance moves, there was a complete turn to be made, a 360-degree turn. Try as I might, it stumped me. There is something about making a complete turn, even during Garba, that phases me. I can do all the other steps, but just don't ask me to turn around all the way. And so I was removed from that dance after traveling every day for attending practices during vacation. When I had started as flautist for the band, and the teacher had asked me to hold the flute the way he was holding it, I had not been able to manage that. He asked my classmate to show me how, Netra. Then she actually held my hands and corrected me. Once that hurdle had been crossed, the basic how to hold the flute properly, I learned quite well. I was sincere and put the extra effort, knowing that I was a slow learner. Plus, I was eager to please. I did what it took. Afterwards, I was able to just listen to a tune, any tune, and replicate it on my flute. I'm glad the band teacher did not give up on me based on the initial performance. The inability to even understand how the flute was to be held in both hands, unlike the other teachers who did give up on me, or at least made me feel less than whatever. I wonder how many talented people just give up or miss their chance because someone did not recognize their potential or simply discouraged them. Creative people are more sensitive by temperament. That is how they are able to see and express things in a way that others can't. But a downside to being sensitive is that we easily get affected by others and their opinions. And we take a lot of things to heart that we should not. The very quality of toughness that is required to survive in the brutal world of survivors is the very quality that would eventually mean not being that same creative, sensitive person anymore. And that is why we often see work of mediocre quality in the arts, fields such as music, theatre, film. Because at that point, it is not about pure creative expression, it is about catering to commercial needs. Later, I gave up dance because the anemia affected my stamina and I got some knee problem. The butterfly effect is evident in so many aspects of our lives. Had Ranjit uncle not taunted mom about needing supplements when pregnant, had mom not responded with indignation, had the doctors not been complacent and would have actually diagnosed my anemia instead of being dismissive about it when my parents took me to the doctors. So many possibilities. This convinces me that even the teeniest gesture from us can affect others significantly. And I try to stay mindful of that when interacting with others, especially children. I make a conscious effort to keep kindness at the forefront in any interaction. That's it for today. I will see you next time with another episode. Till then, take care of yourself, stay healthy. I'll see you later. Bye for now.